What's up, everybody? This is Storm here, and I'm bringing you a latest gaming news. Unfortunately, this news is not a very good one. If you haven't heard, today Bungie is laying off 220 employees from their studio. And I don't normally talk about layoffs. Layoffs is never a good thing, no matter what kind of industry you're in. Especially 2024, we've been hit with a whole bunch of layoffs when it comes to the gaming industry. Even though mostly them are from that group, Embracer, I believe they're called. But still, this is very unfortunate that 220 people from the gaming industry are losing their job. And it comes down to poor leadership. I know I have seen some people try to say that probably trying to blame Sony for it, but unfortunately, Sony has no hand in this decision because it was said in the contract when it came to Sony buying Bungie. Sony technically cannot get involved when it comes to their leadership. The only thing Sony could technically do is just fund their projects and give them any resources that they need. Because in the contract deal, Bungie will still remain independent. But the thing is, if Bungie failed to meet certain goals in a timely manner, PlayStation leadership will take over the studio, thus making Bungie official first-party studio of Sony. But as today layoffs go, that look like it's coming straight ahead. We have a statement from Bungie talking about the layoffs and the restructuring that they're doing for the company. I will post the image for those information details right here. If you would like to read what the statement says, you could pause the video. But as the statement says, that means beginning today, 220 of our roles will be eliminated, representing roughly 17% of our studio workforce. These actually will affect every level of the company, including most of our executive and senior leader roles. Today is a difficult and painful day, especially for our departing colleagues, all of which have been made important and valuable contributions to Bungie. Our goal is to support them with the utmost care and respect. For everyone affected by this job reduction, we'll be offering a generous exit package, including severance, bonus, and health coverage. I realize all this is hard news, especially following the success we have seen with the final shape. But as we navigate the broader economic realities over the last year, and after exhausting all other mitigation options, this has become a necessary decision to refocus our studio and our business with more realistic goals and viable financials. We are committing to two other major changes today that we believe will support our focus, leverage Sony's strength, and create new opportunities for Bungie talent. I would also like to thank Next Gen Gamer and Okami13, Next Gen Player and Okami for reporting this on Twitter, because thanks to they were kind of able to simplify what was the actual statement meant. Because when I first looked at the news article saying this, I thought 222 people got laid off, but 155 of them is being transferred to Sony. But apparently that's not the case. It's basically 222 are being laid off and 155 is moved to Sony Studios. So with that in mind, it kind of sounds like more than 220 people was getting laid off. But to try to cushion the blow, the extra that was supposed to get laid off got sent over to Sony to be put in different studios. At least that's what I got from it. But basically, this is what Okami and Next Gen Player had to say. From Next Gen Player, he says Bungie appears to be getting further integrated into Sony Interactive. 155 Bungie employees will transfer into Sony, and other 75 employees will form a new Sony studio. Bungie is also eliminating the majority of execs and senior lead roles. And this is from Okami. He believed this new studio that's being made for Sony and the same 5 people that's going to be working in this new studio, he believed that this could be the game that supposedly they're going to be working on. He said this could be our first look at the new PlayStation Studios game that being split off from Bungie. According to a 2023 job posting, it's a team-based action game inspired by several genres in a brand new science fantasy universe. It draws inspiration from fighting games, platformers, MOBAs, life sims, and frog-type games. He put that with a question mark. Wrapped up in a light-hearted comedic world. The team is designing for depth, mastery, and Bungie's signature action feel, as well as friendly, inclusive community. So we don't know if this 100% true, but what I saw was going around, it is some type of action sci-fi fantasy game that's supposedly going to be worked on. I don't know if it's exactly what Okami described, judging from a job listing from 2023, but we just have to wait and see. As of now, we don't know the name of the studio that's going to be part of the PlayStation first party. If I would have to guess, if things keep going the way they are with Bungie, PlayStation heads will take over the studio, so that would make will officially make Bungie a PlayStation first party studio instead of like an independent one, but they're under the Sony banner. But if the Sony execs take over Bungie, they will be officially part of the Sony first party and be under their banner. So basically, it will be Sony leadership will be making the decisions for Bungie. Because as of right now, there is a rumor that Herman Hulst, who became one of the CEOs for the PlayStation company for first party, I believe, is part of his job. So there's a rumor that he's now the head for Bungie, but no official confirmation come out. This was said by Jeff Grubb, who had made some accurate predictions in the past. Overall, I would give him probably like an 85% accuracy when it comes to his predictions that he got right in the past. So him saying that Herman Hulst is the head for Bungie, I'm just going to take that with a grain of salt still. But it's just unfortunate people are being laid off, especially this one person that came out and posted talking about the layoff, because unfortunately the employees who are being laid off, when this statement came out, that's when they found out they lost their job, which really is a very sucky way, and I don't know why they go with that decision to do that. Make a whole Twitter post statement to say like, yeah, we're laying off this amount of people, and not even tell the people they're being laid off. Because I think it was like a month or two ago, like somebody, I forgot where she worked at. I think it was was it a Microsoft still? It was some type of studio, I can't remember which. But she was on vacation and she found out she got fired. Like, that is crazy. You're on vacation from work and you found out you lost your job. That is crazy. But this is the statement from that employee found out that her and her team getting fired. I believe she was for community manager, I believe I saw somebody said, but they could be wrong. But this is what she had to say. This is what Lana had to say. Step down, Pete. That is the CEO for Bungie. And they further said, "You are a liar, a thief, and so many things we can't discuss publicly. Step down, and without the giant Sony payout, this isn't on Sony. This is squarely on the failure of leadership. Plain and simple." So the fact that Lana Rupert is saying it's not Sony's fault, it is Bungie CEO and their leadership, is not too surprising, because Bungie leadership had been on a downhill slope ever since they managed to break off from Activision. It was like a slow fall once they broke off from Activision, but lately now it's just getting too ridiculous. I don't know what their leadership is doing. Well, I can kind of guess what they're doing. They're getting the big money while their employees suffer. Because I think I saw somewhere that the dude was bragging. He bought like a couple exotic cars after the purchase of Sony. Because I believe Sony spent, I think it was like 3.7 billion for Bungie, and Sony paid an extra 1.2 billion just so the talent for Bungie to stay, because like Sony wanted to purchase Bungie, but Bungie still want to be maintained independent, because Bungie didn't have like good relations when it came to Microsoft and Activision. So they want to remain independent, but also get funding from Sony. So they made a contract obligation that if Bungie did not reach their goals, didn't reach certain goals in a certain period, that Sony will take over. So by the looks of it, it's going to happen a lot more sooner than later. Especially they sent 155 people to go to Sony Interactive Entertainment, then send 75 people to make a whole new studio under PlayStation. So, and the 220 lost jobs are leaders and executives. So that kind of sounds like they're cleaning house so the leadership of Sony to step in. At least that's what I got from it. I am curious, how would Bungie be if Sony leadership took over the studio? I'm kind of curious how it would look. Of course, granted, we will have to wait for the next big game that they do to see how well Bungie do properly under Sony, instead of Sony just funding them their project. I mean, like, Sony is in control of what Bungie do and stuff. I did saw a couple of jokes like I guess I always said, don't be surprised if Destiny 3 become a PS5 and PC only game. I don't think they'll do that. Like, that'd be crazy if they do that. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I could see this new game, this sci-fi fantasy one they doing. I could see that only a PS5 and possibly a PC game if Sony do take over Bungie. But that's probably way down the line. I want to say probably like a PS6 maybe, because supposedly this game was been worked on for a while now, like probably just on the back burner. But now they're making a whole new studio, and same 5 employees will get officially start doing proper work on it. Yeah, I could probably see down the line before the PS5 gen finish and we're about to enter PS6. But yeah. Well, this is the end of the video. It's unfortunate those people lost their job, but maybe this is the right move for Bungie to get their shit together, basically. Because the Fallen Shape is good and all. It's just a thing, it has to be a consistent, it gotta be a consistent success. And the fact that I have a feeling like the CEO of Bungie probably set very high expectations that Bungie unfortunately cannot reach. Even if the Fallen Shape was a success, you can't forget about your previous works that didn't do so well. Like, even to this day, people hated the DLC of, was it the Curse of Osiris? People to this day still talk about that was the worst one that ever came out. So hopefully Bungie will bounce back. If they can't, unfortunately Sony will have to step in. So hopefully them stepping in will actually help Bungie instead of making it worse. But unfortunately, we just have to wait and see what comes. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoying the video. And what you think? You think this is the right move for Sony to step in to take over Bungie to keep them on a better track? Or do you think Sony should cut ties from Bungie altogether? Leave what you said in the comment. So until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a good night, and I'll catch you later.